certain things चलता है. So चलता है में बहुत कुछ होता है और हम कहते हैं कोई बात नहीं, ये तो growing up चीजें हैं. So growing up चीजों में आज हमारे साथ अभी 2 panelists हमारे साथ आए हैं. I would like to quickly introduce them. We have Dr. Bhavna. She's a clinical psychologist who is also founder of Adhyayan, which is the skill hub. And she has a great clinical experience for the last 21 years. Then we have Kavita ji, who is principal of Venkateshwar Global School in Rohini. Again, a vibrant person with very, very creative, divergent ideas. So here, ladies, as of now, I feel that the most important question I'd like to ask Bhavna ji, to begin with, is this a JLT, just like that, ho gaya, bachchon ko, bacche ne kuch kiya, should they be treated with innocence that this is teenage thing happening, or should they be treated like criminals? Bhavna ji, this question is for you. Can Bhavna hear me?
So I guess she left, so you can pass on the question to
Kavita ji. This question is, yes, I'd like to, put the question on to you. I think Bhavna ji just left for a few minutes, maybe.
All right.
So the question is, कि ये जो हमारा जो आज हुआ, ये पिछले हफ्ते हुआ है, and it has shaken us all up. Do we need to take this as innocence of teenage? चलता है, कोई बात नहीं. या हम लोगों को एक उनको criminal की तरह deal करना है? आपका, what is your call on that? What is your take on that?
Well, my take on this is that we have to take it very seriously. If not as criminals, definitely not the just chalta hai attitude does not work. It can never work. It should not be allowed to work. For how long will women be objectified? For how long will such like things happen? It cannot be tolerated. It's not that it has not been happening in the past, incidentally. It's been happening in the past. It's, given us all a jolt again because a whistleblower came in, somebody reported it and shared the contents with people. And that's what made people so much more aware, or rather made them aware that they need to react. They need to respond to the situation and not take that just chalta hai attitude. Definitely not. Definitely not to be treated as criminals also, but they need to be definitely be made to realize that it is something criminal that they have done. It comes under law. It is a punishable act, and it should be treated like that. However, after deciding what the punishment should be, how much it should be, once they come out of that, yes, there should be ample counseling, etc., given so that they again once become a part of community and they do not have that that stigma attached to them forever. They should be given a chance to improve, yes, but not just chalta.
They should be given a chance. Kavita ji is saying, the principal of Venkateshwar Global School, saying that on one hand, this has been happening for a long time. It's time to put our parenting, the way we supervise our children, giving the right values, and it has to be now. It has been happening for a long time. So children's sexuality is something which they start experiencing and they start to develop and explore in the middle school itself. So things start from there, and there is peer pressure. We are looking at boys, girls get into their teenage, with their periods or with, wearing a bra and they're gearing up. How do the boys, how are they taken care of? Is somebody there to start teaching the children, the boy who is 10 years old maybe, and, figuring out his sexuality? So yes, Kavita ji has a great point to make. But Kavita ji, tell me, I think we still have not, is Bhavna ji there? Yes, Bhavna ji is there. Bhavna ji, yes. Tell me, Bhavna ji, what is it? How do you feel that this has impacted the accused children in this boys' locker room? आपको क्या लगता है कि बच्चों को पर इनका मानसिक इफेक्ट क्या हुआ, और पेरेंट्स पर भी?
So I'll be very honest with you. अगर हम बच्चों के impact की बात करें, so the shock value for accused as well as other children is going to be slightly less because I've been talking to my son, I've been talking to other young boys and girls around, and they said that this is what it is caught. But believe you me, there are many such activities which are already on, and there are people, their children choosing not to be a part of it. So for them, it's not like a huge shocker value कि ये नई चीज है कोई हुई है because ये already exist कर रही है और हो रही है, which is a very scary concept that it's already there and students know about it and they are not shocked. So for an example, if I the moment I had a discussion about my son that, I want to tell you this happened. He says, yeah, you're talking about the boys' locker room. There are many things like that in the school. So we choose not to join them. So जो बाकी के बच्चे हैं उनके लिए शॉकर वैल्यू कम है. जो बच्चे accused हैं, of course they're going through a roller coaster ride at the moment because they've heard about trolling, they've heard about these kind of things. लेकिन मेरे साथ हो जाएगा वाला चीज is now what they're going through. Again, each one of them has their own way of handling it. Some of them are using it for publicity. Some of them are talking about it. Some of them are standing against it. Some of them are just choosing to go back into a shield, that we don't want to talk and we don't want to be known that, we've done something like this. Right. Each one of them is going through a Fury syndrome inside their homes, the way the parents are reacting and the way the parents are looking at this entire incidents and reacting. So I'll say it's a mixed bag of a huge roller coaster ride for parents as well as children who were a part of the locker room, who were majorly either culprits or accused, and also for children who are looking at it objectively from a distance. They're just trying and forming opinions. Believe me, people are looking at it from a distance, largely students. They know that you've got one, but there are many running it. And that is a response that I got from a couple of youngsters that, ma'am, abhi ek hi pakda gaya na, there are many of them running like that. What will you do? So I think it's not about pakdoing the locker rooms and identifying that there are theirs. I think the entire idea is about getting into children's head and making them understand that wrong things are going to be available out there. It's about the right choices that you make that is important.
I think beautifully well put, Bhavna ji. The last bit was so beautifully summed up, which means that Bhavna ji says we need to get into our child's world. We need to direct them and guide them. And we have with us here now, Dr. Alok is here. Namaskar. Welcome to FairGaze portal. Our FairGaze Fair Talk is on. Hashtag Fair Talk is on. And guys, we are live on FairGaze Facebook page. So do log in and check out that we are live and having a very, very intense, very, very path-breaking interaction with our panelist. Dr. Alok has joined us a few minutes back, and he is the former member. He was a magistrate of Juvenile Justice Court, and he is right now the Joint Secretary. And he has an aptitude, I would say, for psycho-legal aspects. And that's the reason why he has a huge experience of dealing with the cybercrime and the juvenile, aspects. So welcome, Alok ji. It's a pleasure to have you here. I think we'll straight away shoot a question to you, since I think Bhavna ji has put it beautifully, that it's the parents who need to direct and be a guiding light and not take the growing up children for granted, especially the boys. They will find for themselves. नहीं होना है जी. आलोक जी, आपके लिए क्वेश्चन है जी कि मुझे ये आप बात बताइए कि बच्चों को जो लीगल इंफॉर्मेशन है वो किस हद तक उनको आना चाहिए, और आप इस फोरम में आज आप वो 2-3 एक आईपीसी या आईटी का कोई सेक्शन अगर आप बता पाए कि ये दो चीजें बेटा आप समझ जाएं तो law will be in our favor. What would be your take for that, for what has happened in boys locker room? Ji Alok ji, over to you.
Really, it's a very important question to how to the basically children aware about the law and the consequences. So when we say that the children, this is a very big line. For 1 year to 18 year is a child. Law is same for 1 to 18 year. And last time when the Nirbhaya case was there. That was very iconic case, and that changed the law. He said that can up to 16 years, that is a heinous crime, we can trial as an adult. So again, it is a, when we discuss about law, and law discuss about evidence, how to prove that is your age is 18 and something, there is a medical examination, and medical examination is also, there is a boundary, not exact, no one can tell exact your age. And India is people in Meghalaya and people in Punjab and people in basically Odisha, the same age, there is a bonification is different. So there is too many dialogue on the age apart. So because we are focusing here how to know about the law and how can protect basically. So I want to mention that a child, when it says children, basically the age of 12 again. So in England is basically this called that the children and young people law. Children and young people law. Young is basically when you are basically in half pant, you are a child. When you're using full pant, you are young. So there is a different type, different way you try to understand if a common man. Right. The half pant, it means up to 14 year. 14 year they consider as a child. After 14 to the coming year, there is a young. After 14, when puberty start in body, when adulthood start in body, this is a biological phenomena. Absolutely. So no child is criminal basically. UNCRC, United Nation, has passed the law for protect the children's rights basically. Even asking Article 12 of UNCRC, and the forced government of India to basically the signatory of the party. Yeah. But India took 12-year time to implement basically the JJ Act basically. So in 2002, that was finally to basically we sign up and send the follow-up report what we are doing in this direction. So we're not going to the history about the things what happens such way, but we know a little background. Yeah. So we are dealing that how to deal with children is a United UNICEF basically that we are the part of the United Nations with a party. So is Article 12 is basically the children's right. What is children's right basically? So Article 12.1 and point 1 by A.
So, Alok ji, I'd like to ask you a question. Sorry, मैं interject कर रही हूँ क्योंकि हमें to the point वो जो चीज है क्योंकि और बहुत सारे हमारे question answer session हो जाएंगे. आपसे यही चीज information पूछनी थी कि जो private group chats है बच्चों के जो private site was a boys locker room. Can this be made public information? Is this something that can be done?
That is a law protects everyone, individuals, especially what you're talking, what you're eating, where you're sleeping. That is an individual right. No one right to interfere the individual life, basically. But unless it's not affecting the society, maybe to anyone's life. Yeah. So individuals have a right. Children have own right. Children is not speaking something. So Article 12, I mentioned that to say children to children say first. Children to heard. Children should be heard. First is the right of children, Article 12A, Part A by 2, basically, children should be heard. If not, and the spirit of that, so that Juvenile Justice Act was created, Care and Protection Act. The act is not for punishment, it is care and protection. Children ought not crime, children ought not really basically to vulgar such a way. It is need to the law for the parents basically.
Yes, very good.
Law for parents basically. Children are innocent.
Very nice.
It's a dialogue box. One principle behind the whole things. It's called dialogue box. Dialogue box means the principle that is Juvenile Justice Act was separated by the Adult Act. Why the children's adult and so that was in 18 basically 98. That was in England that was separated on this dialogue box in the principle that was distinguished. That is dismissed. Okay, the who was the innocent, they don't know consequences. They should be trial in different way. So the children's courts require the moment. Right. So now we start behaving like children are adult. So that we have to think on that. So one point is very focused question thing. So guardians should be basically to how to role as a guardian. It's very important. Yeah. Now the nuclear family. So that is we are not very basically to attentive for them to what's going on, what they're doing basically. And same time for teachers also to understand the law. Otherwise, whole responsibility will be there, and tomorrow the
Very
principal
nice.
and teacher will be under bar.
Beautiful.
Under the bar.
I think beautifully put in, Alokji. You know, the summing up of what you have said is that we have to deal with youngsters, the children, empathetically. We are live on Facebook page of FairGaze, guys. Please, you have to log in with the app only. If you raise your hand and want to ask me questions, I won't know. So make sure that you are logged in on FairGaze page, and you raise your hand. In the next couple of minutes, we'll start with a question answer session. However, to sum it all up, there's one last question left for all the panelists. But before that, summing up would actually mean that we deal with a situation with empathy. We as parents have to get into the child's mind. Legally, the parents first have to know what are the legal repercussions, what kind of values they are teaching their children. Are they getting into the child's world of, you know, wasting time, divergent thinking, sexual exploration, and so on? We have a lot of participants here who have joined us by now, and we have a summing up, I would say. The last question, which is for everybody, but I'll start with Kavita ji to begin with. One line, the most important line, which matters to you and you would like to convey to everybody is, how do we avoid the recurrence of such incidents? Kavita ji, the question is for you. Kavita Soni ji. Dr. Bhavna, maybe Kavita ji is not here right now.
I'm here.
Bhavna ji.
I'm
Yes.
here.
You're here. Yes, I got it. Yes.
I
Yes.
was somebody. All right. So, like I just started saying, the answer to this question, as a matter of fact, has been covered under what has already been said by all of us, a little bit here and there. Yes, to make sure that such like things do not recur, you know, all of us need to play very important roles. And the first role, of course, comes at home. The first teachers are parents back home. They need to tell the children what is right and wrong, and sex education has to be given first at home. And by, of course, as children go up in classes in schools, the teachers also need to participate there. You know, when we do not give them enough information, knowledge, they make their own opinions. They decide what is right based on what they see their peers doing, what they see happening in society, what they see in cinemas, what they have Netflix at home, they see so much, so they make their own opinions. So we've got to actually, you know, inform them, tell them about the repercussions, tell them what is right and wrong, what can be done and what is not taken. No means no. The importance of request and consent, all these things, they've got to be made familiar with. They should know where to draw a line. And punishing is a part, of course, but it is not all the part. Counseling is a bigger part that we need to give to these children, so that such like things do not recur. Fear of law, yes, but more than that, in addition to that, I would say educating them about what's right and wrong. Parenting, of course, I also agree. We all agree as parents that parents play the most important role here. We need not shy away from facts. We must talk to them. Age appropriacy, in taking care of the age appropriacy,
yes,
of course.
So Kavita ji says that parents play a very important role. Imagine the situation, environment where one day, it's not today, I'm sure, but one day very soon, where the mothers are not worried about their daughter's account being public. Beta, private rakho. Ladko ka koi nahi पूछता. So ye insecurities hum parents bring up karte hain. Why? Because the system is not well understood legally, socially. So the important part, guys, for everybody, all the viewers who are watching, we are live on FairGaze Facebook page. Make sure you register there on Facebook FairGaze page so that you are with us. You raise your hand and we take in your questions in a few minutes. The same question, yes, Bhavna ji, for you. how do we avoid the recurrence of such incidents in future? Parents' role, or
got it. Thanks for the question. What I just wanted to summarize it all is that I think I would like to look at this entire issue not in the domain of teenagers or young people. I think as a community, it's very important, as a human community and India as a community in terms of the developing concept, we need a shift of thought process. It's not just boys' locker room. I think free flow communication, education, as said, it should be beyond sex education. It's more about accepting their new ways, their new norms, their new things that excite them. I think giving them the right information in terms of, as said, right and wrong, but again, that has to become a part of more of day-to-day conversation amongst parents, teachers, friends, adults, siblings. I think it's more about a community change. It's more about a change, again, as I said, it's more about the way you think. And why only boys' locker room at teenage? You know, I think fathers need to be more open to talk about how men have their own locker room in terms of discussion. Women have their own locker rooms in terms of discussion. So, taking the wrong and the right, uska manthan jo hai, ki ye sahi hai, ye galat hai, that will always be subjective, has been subjective for centuries, and it will be subjective for centuries. But yes, the more open we are as a community to accept the change, the more open we are as a community to listen to our children and their doubts and their experimentations and what excites them, rather than being judgmental about it, I think they are going to hide less and discuss more. There'll always be a private room for everybody, but something which is very important is, it's just about an open. If we are wanting to go international with our kids, we want them to talk in English, we want them to go abroad to study, we want them to take up jobs abroad. But then if this is an openness in the Western culture, this needs to be a part of our family life, our dining table conversations, siblings talking to each other on that. And I would like to go more on a neutral gender basis. I don't know the data, the way I see it is it's equivalent, girls are equally.
Yes, there seems to be some network is slow.
Yes.
Bhavna ji is here. No, she'll come in a minute. I think the moment she joins us, we will continue with it. So what Bhavna ji was talking about, it's a community awareness. It's not just one person or a parent or a mother. It is the kind of environment we are living in. What kind of message does the community convey at all levels, which is the family, the school, the relatives, the lawmakers, and so on. So one more time, yes, I would love to announce one more time that we are live, guys, on FairGaze Facebook page. So make sure you all are logged in there. And if you do not get some opportunity to interact with us, feel free to put in feedback on the Facebook page, which is hashtag Fairtales, hashtag Fairgaze. Make sure, I repeat, hashtag Fairtales, which is what our discussions are, and hashtag Fairgaze. Make sure you start pouring in your feedback, and we still have time while we still talk about one of the most important aspects of what has happened in the boys' locker room is the unawareness, indifference in the legal ways of things. We know our rights, we do not know our duties. Yes, Bhavna ji is here with us. Bhavna ji, yes.
I'm really sorry, I just wanted to complete with that last bit.
Yes, waiting for you, yes.
I think the last point I would like to summate here is that because we are talking about a community change here, I think it's very important that mental health professionals need to be a more ardent part of our family lives and school lives and college lives now, because they're technical people who possibly help us to navigate through difficult processes easily. So if we can have a family dentist, if we can have a family physician, why can't you have a family psychologist? Why can't you have a family counselor? So I think, it's again the entire community change. I would love children to just call and say that I was very upset to what happened in the classroom today, and I would just like to have a word. So we can sort their problems at that level, rather than let it grow to a level that it becomes a disease or a problem and it comes on our table. So the last point is, as again, I would stick to the thoughtologists and counselors becoming a part of the main, their telephone list where they can just call out, be it parents, be it children, be it anybody in the family. You're free to call and just discuss how to sort the daily level problems and things like that. Thank you.
Yeah. Wonderful. I think Bhanaji has again summed it all beautifully by saying that it is the onus is on us as a community. And now we will go on to Alokji. Before I start with anything legal, are you a father? First thing, Alokji.
Yeah.
Great. So the question is differently put now. How come that Indian fathers have difficulty in imparting sex education to the boys? Blank answer दीजिए bluntly, हम भी समझें और शायद और जो fathers हैं, young fathers, वो भी समझें. Please, आलोक जी.
देखिए ये हमारा जो है आपने क्वेश्चन पूछा बहुत कल्चरल पार्ट है. जब कोई बच्चा किसी फैमिली में पैदा होता है तो उस फैमिली के कुछ कल्चर्स, कुछ वैल्यूज ऑटोमेटिकली उस हिसाब से होते हैं. जैसे कि आपको अपब्रिंग किया गया है, आपने जो लर्न जैसे है तो वो उसी तरीके से होता है. कितनी ओपननेस आपकी फैमिली में है, किस तरह से आपका ब्रॉटअप हुआ है. तो इसमें दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट इज वन थिंग लाइक हाउ वी डील बेसिकली. सो जैसे मेरी वाइफ भी वो डॉक्टर हैं, वो मेडिकल डॉक्टर हैं, और तो ये होता है कि वी डिस्कस ओपनली दैट. हम उन्हें नहलाते हैं और उन्हें बताते हैं दिस इज योर बॉडी पार्ट, ये आपके इंपॉर्टेंट बॉडी पार्ट है, इन्हें आप कोई टच कर तो आप घर बताएंगे, और इसको पापा मम्मा के अलावा कोई भी आपको टच नहीं कर सकता है. स्कूल को वैन में जा रहे हैं, अगर वो आपको उठा के आपको बिठाता है, नीचे उतारता है, अगर आपको कुछ भी इनअप्रोप्रिएट लगता है तो आप जरूर घर आके बताएंगे उसे. दीदी कभी ऐसा आप क्रच में जाते हैं छोटे होते तो थ्री ईयर ऑनवर्ड वी स्टार्ट टेलिंग दैट इज दिस इज योर इम्पोर्टेंट, दिस इज योर प्राइवेट पार्ट. और ना ही किसी और का छूना है, कभी टच करना है.
आलोक जी आप थोड़ा डाइवर्ट हो रहे हैं. दैट इज द गुड टच बैड टच. यस, सेक्स एजुकेट बेसिक्स वी ऑल डू. मेरा क्वेश्चन ये, वो जो बच्चा गुड टच बैड टच समझ के बन गया 13 साल का, और वहां पे बॉयज लॉकर रूम मिडिल स्कूल से शुरू हो जाते हैं. इट इज नॉट समथिंग व्हिच बिगिंस इन 11th मिडिल स्कूल. नाउ व्हाई एंड व्हाट हैपेंस देन? वी डोंट नो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग विद टीनेजर्स. मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है कि उस बच्चे के sexual exploration where the child is learning the toxic masculinity, patriarchal system में हमको पता है कि वो चलता है, लड़कों का वो राइट है. Patriarchal system is different, including my own son telling me, mama this is a given. So the given में क्या है कि you objectify girls, sexuality वहां शुरू होती है unfortunately. तो मेरा ये आपसे पूछना है कि इंडियन फादर्स नहीं बात करते बॉयज से डायरेक्ट फेस टू फेस, एंड बात करने में वो नहीं बात करेंगे. बट व्हाट इज योर डायरेक्शन एज अ फादर? दैट्स माय क्वेश्चन. व्हाट इज योर डायरेक्शन, गाइडेंस टू द टीनेज फादर?
One thing I would like to clear when you're discussing about India is a too much diversified culture. तो हम कुछ फादर्स को कह सकते हैं जहाँ पे कल्चरल चीजें वहां नहीं करते. बहुत से ऐसे फादर हैं जो डिस्कस क्लियरली, वो कहते हैं ठीक है तुम्हारी गर्लफ्रेंड कहाँ पर है, वी हैव सेक्रेटरी इज एडिशनल सेक्रेटरी वर्किंग विद मी. वो कहती है वो इज 10th क्लास में, तो बोलती है कि वो अपने गर्लफ्रेंड के पास जा रहा है आज जो है. सो दिस इज इसी कंट्री के अंदर में अब वो कल्चर है कि दैट इज अलाउड कि उस गर्लफ्रेंड को घड़ी देना है गिफ्ट, वो मेरे से पैसे, मेरा कार्ड मांग रहा है, तो जैसे चलो मैं खरीद देती हूँ. सो दिस इज बेसिकली हेल्दी फ्रेंडशिप इज सोसाइटी इज ओके, इट्स गुड एंड पेरेंट इज एक्सेप्टिंग. आप जितनी बाउंड्रीज डालेंगे जो है, जितना उसको रखेंगे, उतनी ज्यादा उसमें साइकोलॉजिकल प्रॉब्लम्स बनेगी. तो बेटर है कि पेरेंट्स के लिए ये है कि टू बी ओपन विद चिल्ड्रन. टाइम के साथ में कोई भी धर्म रूड नहीं होता है. रिलीजन, एवरी रूल्स आर डायनामिक बेसिकली, इट्स नॉट फिक्स समथिंग. या सो कीप मूविंग द थिंग्स. तो समय के साथ साथ हमें सूरज की तरह से, हम सुबह उगे तो वहीं पे नहीं रहेंगे, रोशनी देंगे. आई विल रोशनी दैट इज कम टू बाय let's come to the end then. तो आपको हर कॉर्नर से रोशनी देर समय के साथ चेंज होना है. तो वो जो गार्जियन पेरेंट्स है, तो वो बच्चा बड़ा हो रहा है, तो आपको भी बड़ा होना पड़ेगा. एक बच्चा सिखाता है कि व्हाट योर फादर बन के कोई नहीं आता है, बच्चा सिखाता है कि यू आर फादर. And maybe someone, maybe that is everyone not at the same mental state, but everyone eligible to basically वो बेबी पैदा करने के लिए हर मेल कैपेबल है 90% चीजों पे. तो बट बच्चा पालना गार्जियनशिप इज बेसिकली, तो नीड अ गार्जियनशिप. मुझे लगता है कि एक तो गवर्नमेंट को भी पेरेंट गार्जियनशिप काउंसिल बनाना चाहिए, जिसमें कि उसको वो हो. पहली चीज ये है पेरेंट गार्जियनशिप काउंसिल, और मुझे लगता है उस पर एवेल्यूएशन होना चाहिए. और दूसरी बात ये है कि पेरेंट्स को बंधन के बजाय खुल करके उस पे उनकी बात को समझना चाहिए, केयर करना चाहिए.
बहुत सुंदर आपने ब्रिंग अप किया.
स्कूल्स के अंदर में जो है, स्कूल्स के अंदर पे मैं ये वर्कशॉप होना जरूरी, रेगुलर वर्कशॉप. और ये वर्कशॉप जो है 13 ईयर से स्टार्ट हो जाना चाहिए. 13 ईयर से 13वीं साल पूरा करते ही 13 टू, तो इनको जैसे ही आते हैं उस वक्त में नॉर्मल एजुकेशन साथ में, और शुड बी हु विल टीच, should be some qualified doctor will teach. That is okay. It's not anyone going to teach. तो वो एक्सप्लॉटेशन भी होता है. इसलिए नॉलेज, ज्यादा नॉलेज भी खतरनाक है. तो बट इतना है कि उनके दिमाग की जो उत्सुकता है उसको ओपन तरीके से डिस्कस किया जाए, जाना जाए. अगर विंडो आउट होगा तो ऐसी प्रॉब्लम्स नहीं होंगी. तो गार्जियंस रेडी फॉर दैट, टीचर्स रेडी फॉर दैट, प्रिंसिपल रेडी फॉर दैट, फॉर दिस एजुकेशन.
Wonderful. I think Alok ji has put it in a very, very nice, concise, very wonderful form. 2 suggestions he has given us, that he says that parents guardianship council should be there, a complete body. Actually speaking, I was just thinking while Alok ji was talking,
I already proposed to basically the government of India already.
That's wonderful. Alok ji has already proposed to that.
In 7 states to governors. Governor of Haryana, governor of basically Uttarakhand, governor of Uttar Pradesh, and to governor of basically the Kerala. I met him to mention that is need a council for this thing, guidance council such way. So young people guidance and parents council. So I will call that it's not council for one. They suggested to be little change it here.
Right.
So guidance, not children, and also for parents.
So because Alok ji has been so actively involved in the juvenile justice courts, and he has been dealing with legal issues in a very, very psychological, empathetic way, the human rights way. So these suggestions of his are wonderfully well put. So guys, one more time, I hope you guys are logged in #Fairtales and #FairGaze. Please log into the FairGaze page on Facebook, and we are going live. You are free to put in your feedback, suggestions, question answer session have already started. We are all waiting to move to the next level, and we have another 10 minutes and we can start our, maybe less than that actually, we can start our Q&A. So anybody who wants to ask a question, please register on the FairGaze portal, the link given. You register there, and only through the app will you be able to raise your hand. I'll be able to see it, and I will be able to respond, and we can have a conversation. So we have the hashtag here, the Fair Talks and #FairGaze. You're free to put in your queries, feedback, questions. Of course, we are still on. We are still in the middle thick of things. So the thing that came to my mind is, what if there is a script written for the fathers? उनको बस पढ़ के बच्चों को अगर सुना दें तो कितना convenient होगा, because actually they are sometimes lost. They don't know how much is their privacy area, what they should allow them to, what they should say, hey, I want to know. So instead of knowing all of the details, if we have a blanket understanding of what value we convey. For example, if in a family, even as a joke, if the other gender is objectified, that is taken as chalta hai, ye to, this is a way to laugh things about. So those are one examples that we can do. So I was wondering, there are a few things which I think as part of the panel and being the host here, it was coming to my mind that we are so particular about what our girls are doing. when the girl gets onto her account and tell me your friends and tell me who all are you chatting with. How many of us genuinely ask the same thing to our sons? 99% of parents don't do that. Is it the patriarchal system? Question mark. Is it because it's okay? Question mark. It's time to help them so that we become the guiding light. There is no differentiation between a girl and a boy. We understand this. Then why is it that we tell the girl child to be careful what she posts on Facebook or on social media? Why be careful and not the boys be careful? How we can enter the boys' domain? So those are the few questions which we will be talking about. And while we have people coming in here, my question to Bhavna ji, आप clinical psychologist हैं. आपको जब अगर आपको कोई, if you find somebody who is sexually deviant, how many percentage of the population is sexually deviant, where we say, जैसे आलोक जी ने भी एक बात कही थी कि कुछ लोगों की प्रवृत्ति होती है, there is a predisposition that you have a psychogenic or a pathogenic issue and you become this bad person. कितना percentage है और how does one get it?
So if I give you, so I'm not very aware of the Indian calculus, but if we look at the latest data, it says that out of every 150 people walking together, one will have a psychopathic tendency. Now, a psychopathic tendency takes you towards becoming a sociopath in future or getting into activities which may not be accepted by any personal human domain or society per se. It could include pornography, it could include incidences like, those sexual pervertness, it could include things like even homicide to some level. So, but the sad part, the scary part is that this 150 number is very, very, with speed, it's coming down. So it was 150, and with the way things are happening in terms of the psychopathic tendencies developing, we are seeing it coming down very significantly. So very soon we'll have just 90 people, out of 90 people, top 3, 4 will have psychopathic tendencies, That is the kind of aggression, that is the kind of rage, that is the kind of confusion which is there in the human mind, which is coming up. And that is one big reason. And again, a very significant point is that here, the differentiation is not basis male and female. So that one person or that 4 out of 90 can be all women and all men, or 2 men and 2 women. That ratio is almost running neck to neck. If you look at a simple example of alcoholism, drinking, there is a very propensal increase in girls consuming alcohol, and it's increasing on almost a double the rate the boys are consuming alcohol. So I don't know, are we somewhere going wrong in defining the freedom for girls? What is meant by freedom? Is it all competition with boys? Is it all competition with what the man can do? Or it's all competition about what I can do as a potential woman? So somewhere again, the communication at every level, at a community level, I think somewhere we have gone wrong in communicating this to our girls, that the freedom completely means about going free and drinking and having a lifestyle which is more like a men's lifestyle, which I don't think so is a very right kind of a thing. So that is to answer your question, that this is the kind of probability that we have of more psychopathic tendency individuals across on the walking roads, which may convert into potential pervert behavior people or personality disorder, personality distortions.
Yes. And I think, yes, wonderful. I think Bhavna ji has put it, there is predispositions of some clinical psychopathic or a psychogenic kind of predisposition. अगर simple language में अगर हम बात करें, तो अगर आपका बच्चा बहुत देर तक रात को वीडियोस अंधेरे में छुप के बाहर की इंटरेक्शन नहीं करता, छुपाता है चीजों को, आप उन चीजों को एक तरीके का वार्निंग साइन लेके intervention करने की कोशिश कीजिए as parents. There's an important thing I'd like to announce here quickly, is that I have a person in the audience, and she's a young lady who wants to come here on our panel, not on a panel, wants to be here on board, we would like to take a take on what youngsters feel about the whole incident. And this is from the young lady's point of view. Yes, Ms. Sinha, go ahead. We are listening to you.
Hi, my name is
Hi.
Punya. I went to a school in New Delhi, and I'm currently a student of sociology. I'm a master's student. I was very deeply affected by the incidents because it almost resurfaced lots of memories, lots of experiences that I myself had to go through, and I saw my friends going through when I was in school, and also when I was completing my bachelor's in a Delhi University college here. What I have come to realize after lots of talking and lots of discussions with my peer group and some seniors is that the role of the school is very, very critical. As a source of secondary socialization, I think more accountability needs to be given to schools, to teachers, to the counselors, to the administrative staff, because they could play a crucial role. Children do spend a lot of time in school, and things like sex education should be very like normalized. You know, it should be just like another subject, not something that happens once a year or once in the school year's event. It should be as common as like a biology or a mathematics. I think it needs to be regularly given and almost like tested upon even. Apart from that, I think that these problems that are coming up now, even though they are symptomatic of years and years of conditioning under the patriarchy, I think the fact that they're springing up now is something that is that has to do with our contemporary society. Like, these are problems that are only coming up in recent times. That means that these are novel problems, and it means that we're also not equipped yet to deal with them. So I think new technologies, new ways of measurement, new ways of monitoring should be we should really equip ourselves with those, including schools. I think some sort of like sensitivity training should be made compulsory for the teachers. There has to be some sort of a guideline on how to deal with, even when students start dating, for example. Different teachers, different schools can have different approaches. Some might be healthy, some might be not very healthy, even unhealthy. And so it should not be left to a subjective interpretation of the situation. I think some sort of an official guideline or a handbook should be prepared so that the school is also prepared to deal with these things in an objective, scientific, healthy manner. Because, yeah, like I said, these are new problems and we need new solutions for them, even though these are symptomatic of like thousands of years of conditioning.
Yes. Yes.
I think that's one important thing I thought I should say.
Absolutely. I think, yes, Punya has put it in her own way. We did not know till the whistleblower did it for us. We need more such whistleblowers. Let it be our own son, our own child, to say, not acceptable. Up to a point of light banter is the beginning. So let's just stick to the lowest rung of the pyramid of that, reaching to a psychopath or a rapist or a person who indulges in sex offenses. So I think great, very well put in. We are waiting. Yes, we would now like to ask. We have more hands. Yes, Kavita. Kavita is online with us. Hi, Kavita. Hello, Kavita. Are you there? Yes.
Hi. Yes, I'm Kavita Jakhar.
Yes, Kavita. Please shoot your question and make sure you tell which person in the panel you would like the person to answer. Please name the panelist and your question. Shoot.
Yes, I was listening to this child who was speaking about her trauma in her school years, whatever she went through. So my question is to the psychologist, Miss Bhavna over there. My question is, like, we are talking and enough has been said about what is good and bad about this boys locker room chat. But my question as a principal of a school is that once a thing like this comes to fore, like some incident like this has happened in a school, some chat room we've come to know about, then how do we go about handling first the boys who are part of this conversation and the girls who are being objectified? So what kind of a treatment or an intervention has to be given to both these groups? My question is to Ms. Bhavna.
Yeah. Thank you, Kavita ji, for this question. I think this is something very relevant because, and I'll say progressive, because you've already started thinking how to manage it, which is a right approach. So I'll answer it in a way that had I been into a situation like this where the boys were from my school or my community, wherever I was responsible for, I would start and end the entire thing with pure format of communication. It's very important to have a discussion with boys alone to understand what is happening in their head, what instigated this, what made them happy about it. And a very strong, what I'll say is making them realize what went wrong is important, and not I would want to have an interaction with the girls who went through this. Some of them were more accused, some of them could be a party to the interaction with the boys. So I think it's very important to have a very strong conversation with girls and making them aware about what went wrong and to what level the damage has happened. And then at the last leg, once I know that both the parties are completely prepared with actual information, I will always have 5 to 10% of people who will never take me seriously. But I'm very sure with active conversation and informationful conversation, at least 80 to 85% kids will get onto a zone of listening to you. And that is when we bring the entire group together and have active conversation, discussing the words like sex, like intercourse, like masturbation, like pornography. I think the pensiveness of not using these words openly in public is making them more luring for our kids. That is what they want to do, and that is what they don't want to discuss with us teachers, parents. So it's very important for me as a psychologist, you as a principal or teachers, to discuss this, that pornography is not abnormal, but pornography should come with age and maturity, where you know where you can control it and what needs to be seen and what needs to be discarded. So wait till proper age and maturity. So pornography, not bad, but pornography with maturity, control, and age factor, possibly, but again, not till the point you are a particular age where the law permits you to do that. Sleeping with people is not bad. It's a way the biology is operating. But again, openly talking about the right age, the right mental frame where you want to get into that relationship, understanding the sociology of where you're living, the ecosystem, the culture. I think those conversations need to be important. The fact that the moment we say live-in is wrong, sleeping with boys is wrong, pornography is wrong, suddenly what we are doing is we are bridging the gap between what our children are thinking and where we are. And a bridge needs to be created through thorough conversations. And I think that's the only way to reach out to youngsters today, which is communicating without barriers, communicating without being pensive on use of certain words and thought process. And that is why I stick to the idea it's more about a community change thought process. Let's start from home. Let's talk about gayism with our boys. Let's start about lesbianism to our girls. Not putting concepts, not putting emotions to these words, but plain, flat information. So I think that would be my approach. I don't know how many people agree to this or not, but I've always felt communication is the only way you can reach out to youngsters today. I have not found any other way in these last 23 years to reach out to youngsters. The only way I connect to hundreds of them is we want to talk, Bhavna ma'am, and they talk, and they talk, and they talk. Yeah. And when they talk, I would just like to mention Kavita ji, and I always give this example to my children. There is this very nice movie called Dirty Dancing of our times. I'm sure you remember. There was a particular scene where this guy says, who's teaching dance to this girl, that, this is your dancing space and this is my dancing space. For anybody to dance in the way you want them to dance, it's important for you to go to their dancing space first. Learn the way they are dancing and their rhythm, and then bring them to your dancing space and try and mold and change their dancing style as per yours. You cannot ask somebody to leave their thought process and start thinking the way you're thinking. It's important to first think the way they are thinking. That is what we do in forensics. You think the way the criminal is thinking, and then you try and modify the way you want them to think. So I think that would be my.
I think it's a great way of putting it.
Thank you, Bhavna ji. Thanks a lot.
Great. It is a great interaction here. We have Apeksha here. Apeksha, I'm going to, yes, unmute you. Yeah. Apeksha, yes. Start. Please say something. Yeah.
Thank you for the fact that I'm able to join here. Thank you for inviting. I just wanted to ask one thing, and put this point across. So when I was in my school, I'm a psychology student. I'm doing my bachelor's in psychology. When I was in school, what used to happen is that we used to have separate sessions for boys and girls on sex education. And what usually used to happen is that boys would come out of the session. So we would be called in the auditorium and we would be told about menstruation and sex and, you know, all these things which were considered taboos earlier. In some cases, even now. So we were told about all of this, but when we used to come out, the boys used to ask us that, you know, what did you guys talk about and what happened in the auditorium? So we would openly tell them, a lot of us, that we talked about menstruation, we talked about you know, sex, we talked about all these things. We talked about condoms. But the boys were completely blank. They didn't know about menstruation, they didn't know about condoms. And whatever they knew was from the wrong sources. So what used to happen is that the boys never knew, and they were so inquisitive about knowing such things, they were never told from the proper sources. So I think that is really important in schools, for boys to be educated about the girls' hormonal changes, the various changes, not only that they are going through, but that boys are going through, and what girls are going through about menstruation, about various bodily changes girls are going through.
Wonderful. I think a great way that you've put it, Apeksha, you have said it wonderfully well. The whole idea is that we as a community are answerable to us, to ourselves. So within that, it's very important to assimilate the boys. Why are boys separated? There's this question I would like Kavita ji to answer this for us, please. Kavita ji, यहाँ एक Zoom group में हम लोग के Facebook की एक member हैं, उन्होंने कुछ लिख के भेजा है हमें chat पे. What she's saying is that while women are facing all kinds of problems, how do we tend to change the general mindset of people that are men? And why do we always think men are at fault? हमें क्यों लगता है कि सिर्फ आदमी की ही गलती है? पहला question. क्यों आपको लगता है जी? Would you like to throw some light here, कविता जी?
ऐसा पहली बात तो मैं ऐसा मानती ही नहीं हूँ कि हमेशा आदमियों की ही, men folk की, masculine gender की ही गलती होती है. ऐसा नहीं है. And this is what we experience at school also. All the time, girls are very much party to so much that's happening around, and they are bullies enough, you know, like boys are in so many cases. They all gang up together and they play their games, and girls, in fact, so many places I've come across experiences where girls have been a bigger reason for all that was happening around. And, you know, then I would always go back to what I studied way back, you know, that girls are mentally maturer than men are. And this is true. You know, it is always the younger girls reaching out to the elder boys, senior classes, and boys become actually aware of these things later than the girls do. And this is definitely a fact. Hookah bar came in a few years ago, and I got to hear that girls were a bigger party to the hookah bars. They were even challenging boys to take them there. And recently, I mean, I wouldn't, not from my school, but I'm aware of something that came up where girls are requesting boys to send them pictures of them nude from the washroom, of their private parts, and reciprocating. So definitely मैं ये नहीं मानती कि लड़के ही गुनहगार तो नहीं कहूंगी, but इन सब चीजों के लिए जिम्मेवार है, ऐसा नहीं. But हाँ, अगर society as a whole देखेंगे, community as a whole देखेंगे, definitely it is more of men who indulge in such like activities.
I think yes, absolutely. And the reason is Yes, and the reason is, Kavita ji, is I think for everybody, the reason why this happens, why it is the boys, is the fact is that the boys are left behind in anything to do with sex education. What they learn is, there is this wonderful person who has sent a chat from Facebook. This person, anonymous, is saying sex education for boys in school is only biological. Most sex education is achieved through illegal pornography, which
Yes.
objectifies women and promotes toxic relationships. So this is
Exactly.
one part. So what is happening here is the boys are left out. यही तो मैं आलोक जी को भी पूछ रही थी कि काश हम एक स्क्रिप्ट तैयार कर लें. At least fathers will be able to tell. You know, there is, yes, absolutely. You know, there is this child who has written in the chat here. She is from a very prestigious school in North Delhi, and she says, "Ma'am, हमारे यहाँ sex education नहीं allowed. There, even our counselors are not allowed to have anything to do with sex education. You have the manual for the good touch, bad touch. You have a video which is circulated in the entire school, which is the good touch, bad touch. Nothing else in the pre-teens, teens. And I'm talking about 2020. This is only one school that we are talking about. Resistance.
I agree that we need more of this in our schools, of course, just like Ms. Sinha earlier said, just like we have all other subjects. Why isn't this made a compulsory subject to whatever extent, having decided what is to be delivered, you know, and how, so that, you know, we educationists also have a little roadmap as to how to go about it. I agree, teachers, you know, that we know that mostly the staff in schools are mostly female dominated.
Right.
I wouldn't call it. I mean, this is one area which is female dominated teachers.
Yes.
So they feel, they also, we do agree that even we as teachers, female teachers, not very comfortable talking about it. So we, herein comes in what Mr. Alok said, community, you know, we, culture is something that is associated with all of us. It takes some time to get rid of it. Some of us come out of it sooner, some take a little longer, you know, depending on situation, how you've grown, your background, what sort of places you come from, where you studied and all. But I agree absolutely that this is a sector that definitely, this is an area that definitely needs much more than what is being done in this area. And I agree, we speak more to girls because probably, I will not, shy away from saying that probably we feel more comfortable speaking with girls than boys. And
So
definitely we'll look into.
We need to break that glass barrier, the barriers, like the you know, barriers, what we say. There is another person who has put in here on chat. This particular thing I think will go straight to Alok ji. उनका ये पूछना है कि जी आप बताइए, for all of us on social media, including the adults, why just youngsters? Alok ji, this question is for you. Ki, what are, we know our rights. We know our rights of freedom of expression and so on. हमारी ड्यूटीज क्या है, हमें लीगली क्या चीजें पता होनी चाहिए? अगर आप 2-3 चीजों पे अगर आप प्रकाश डालें for youngsters, you know, is there, like for example cyber crime cell, what is that? अगर आप कोई legal guidelines अगर आप दे पाए 1-2 लाइनों में, तो हमारे youngsters को बहुत benefit मिलेगा. आलोक जी, ये क्वेश्चन आपके लिए जी.
इस क्वेश्चन पहले 2 चीजें हम ऐड करना चाहेंगे. The madam earlier mentioned about like lock room, boys lock room. Recently 2 days before, 3 days now basically, the two girls lock room was basically traced by the police. One in Gurgaon. So that is because why the only boys and not girls. The question was, a little question, want to add that thing. So this was a girls lock room was traced by the police, and that is under investigation now. And the boys lock rooms were basically, who run basically there is 4 adults involved there. 4 adults are involved there, not children. To those who pass out from the school, they invited the members, and they're not juvenile, basically not under the 18 basically anyhow. So we should basically, so that knowledge come from top to the bottom. So we need to be aware about it. Is a girls lock room is running. Is more than they find 2 girls lock room. That is in the Hindustan News day before. So you can go in public. So, and more girls' locker room is running, that is very secret. The police is trying to find out. Yeah, and that is a very objectable. Too many people are basically the walkout. Yeah, so anyhow, but the question is here, that is what should be aware about the our rights. So what our duties also, you know, the law and something is basically to enforce something, you know, like, you know, the IT Act provision, like normally is IT Act not only for this is to bullying, psychological bullying, emotional bullying, and sexual bullying. Yeah. So there is a IT Act. One way is a act is always there's a it's called special acts, like Juvenile Act. Special Act always are basically the criminal procedures always basically exist basically.
Yes.
So you know, CRPC is clearly mentioned about you if you are really the hitting to any rating, it means emotionally, psychologically, physically to any woman. Yeah.
Yes.
So there is a legal consequences, you know, and like, you know, when you go for we go 551 at CRPC that way, that is basically it's will applicable with the IT Act. When you are using the IT system and reaching to another freedom and try to basically to comment on something which is really objectable, that under the IT Act is going to be you are punishable. New IT Act basically there is a whole of section like this type of basically if you are not a friend and you are using. Too many times the problems happen with the friend and family and distance relations, people who are in touch, and very few cases we find it is people in distance basically is anyone that's coming and to basically poking you, disturbing you, and basically pushing you. In most of cases, the close relatives, your past friends, your friends of friends, they basically involved in such way. So there is if you are doing something, so maybe that your whole network will be in problem. It's not only you. So article in constitutions, you have a right to freedom, right to express. Yeah. So it is not to know that is what is a whole constitution to know about it.
Right.
It is not to by law. Law is not to be bind. You should know basically the gist, basically notions of the law. Notion of law basically want to prevent the individual respect.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not, you know the law and you're not going to do murder.
Yes.
Yeah. So law is a, you know, after murder is there is a punishment, but still murder is going on. Why? Because this is the emotional part. If you are hitting me, the person becomes revengeful. It's a take revenge for that, and they forget about the law and regulations.
Yes.
So I already mentioned after the Nirvaya case, too many cases happen. Too many, you know, the punishment on the, you know, spreading the false news, and it still is going on. Yeah. Aware about it. So anyhow, there's a point. One is basically the law is very strict on that.
Yeah.
Law is very strict on that. If you adult and in contact with such a way, so maybe you are not eligible for any job in governments. First thing.
Yes. Yes.
You can think that if you are going for international organizations, ever you have basically to involve such activities, no international organization going to basically like United Nations, very strict for that. So you have to decide your future, like where you want to go, and according to that, you have to moderate your behavior. What you're doing, be responsible for that. IT provisions are very strict. That may be 3-year punishment for that, either with penalty and such way. If you are bullying to someone, a sexual assaultment there is a one like you by messaging someone, that is also there a punishment for.
Right.
So there is a rules, regulation, everything is well drafted.
बहुत अच्छे से, I think Alok ji, yes, sorry, आपको मैं interrupt कर रही हूँ. We have more people who would like to say something. Alok ji has put it beautifully well that we have to be responsible because that छोटा सा हमको लगता है छोटी सी mistake है, एक छिछोरापन करके आप अपनी जिंदगी, future, आपका track record खराब हो सकता है. कुछ शब्द हैं, 2-3 शब्द मैं बोलूंगी. पहला repeat कर रही हूँ बार-बार for all our viewers. There must be many of them who are just maybe watching the video. Not good enough. You need to hashtag Fair Talks for comments, feedback. hashtag FairGaze. You need to see us on live, which is live. We are going live on FairGaze Facebook page, guys. So please continue with your feedback. Hashtag Fair Talks, hashtag FairGaze. Continue with your feedback. Alok ji has given us a bit of an idea, quite a bit, to say that we need to be wary of our actions. इसमें मेरी दो चीजें मैं ऐड करना चाहूंगी. शब्द है सिर्फ, क्योंकि हमें पता है सोशल नेटवर्क में अकाउंट कैसे बनाना है. जब अकाउंट बनाना है तो जी अब जॉली वेल अपने जो है ना ये लीगल इश्यूज भी समझ लीजिए. शायद मैंने कल समझे, आप आज समझ जाइए जिन्होंने नहीं समझे. शब्द है साइबर क्राइम सेल, एक चीज होती है दिल्ली पुलिस की, नोट कर लीजिए. दूसरा है साइपैड, इट्स साइबर प्रिवेंशन अवेयरनेस एंड डिटेक्शन. साइपैड करके एक चीज है. अब आ जाइए, जो आलोक जी ने हमें गाइड किया है वो मैंने सिर्फ पेपर पे लिख दिया है, so that we put it together. There is something known as section 67 and 67A of Information Technology Act, IT Act. Listen very carefully. Publishing or transmitting obscene material in electronic form is an offense. The second one, which is 509 of IPC, is word, gesture of act intended to insult the modesty of a woman. Actually, I would even say for a man. Point of matters doesn't matter of gender. यहाँ सिर्फ IPC को हम quote कर रहे हैं. These are caution words. You'll be surprised. I'll also quickly like to share with you. कि जब से boys locker room हुआ है ना शुरू, तो हम लोग जो professionals हैं, हमारे accounts Facebook पे हैं, which is public. जो crap material है ना, वो अपने आप sorted हो गए हैं. By the way, I must say that to you. It's an experience that we are going through as professional women, especially. So it's a thumbs up in a way that boys locker room in a way happened. Unfortunate for the kids and family, but awareness from us, from our point of view, that we need to reorganize and reset stuff. Doctor, I think I have Apeksha also wanting to say something. Apeksha, can somebody unmute her? Can you write it down, please? Because I think we are almost running out of time. It's 1:45. If you can chat, you can write your point and we can take it up. Bhavna ji, one last line बताएं आप. आपका एक line आप बताइएगा, and then I think we will be closing the meeting, and still hoping that people will be putting in their feedback. They are still maybe warming up to the whole boys locker room. You know, कितनी हमारी जिम्मेदारी है, हमें कितना पूछना चाहिए, कितना जायज है, कितना नाजायज है.
Madhumati ji, I would like to just summarize this entire thing into one thing, that somewhere crime, abuse, negativity against both the genders have been a part of the living human race for years and years, for centuries and centuries. And this will always be. As a teacher, as a professor, I've always felt that there is always that 10% or 5% of the class which will never listen to you, and which will always have their own thought processes, and they learn or they do not learn through their life experiences only. I think as a responsible set of parents, teachers, community, mentors, coaches, psychologists, one thing that we can give to our kids is the comfort to talk. हमारे बच्चे जब हमारे पे दरवाजा बंद करते हैं saying कि आपको कुछ नहीं पता, and I think today's Mother's Day, every mother sitting across into this conversation will identify कि ये आवाज गूंजती है कि मम्मा आपको कुछ नहीं पता. No, you don't know, or let it be. I don't want to talk. No, I don't want to talk to you. I think that is a huge signal to us in the fact that our children are opting us out as the valid source of information, or somebody who can give them that warmth and that comfort, that come, I'm ready to talk anything in the world. So I think mothers need to stop getting astonished and surprised at the fact of their girls having boyfriends. Fathers need to react and have conversations regarding live-in relationships. Boys need to be more open about their the way they like girls and their fantasies about them. Be open to, if not to parents, but to elder siblings. I think it's just pure change of thought process that we need to observe. Nirbhaya would not have happened believe you me, had somebody given time to those boys having conversations. Definitely there was an element of psychopathic behavior, there was an element of huge negativity in there. But the point is, nobody is born negative. There is always a percentage of neurological damage that we say is responsible for criminality. But a large part of it happens through environment. So again, a change of orientation from our side. I would somehow want to stand on children's side and say that we need to change more than push our children to change. The moment we change, they'll automatically change. We need to give them, we should not be dividing the arena as the fact that, we are telling you what to do. I think it's more about, we are there and please make us a part of your fraternity and your group so we can coexist together. So I think the word that I would like to conclude this entire conversation is, let's learn to coexist with our children. We had our own zones. Electricity was important to us, but internet and mobile is important to them. So we cannot demean their necessity today. So
wonderful. I think Bhavnaji has put it wonderfully well, that we need to be more responsible, getting into their world and maybe breaking that glass ceiling of the S word is a bad word. We need to make this as an assimilation, as how we see our children in their generation. Their generation, they have regressed. Teenage begins at the age of 9 now and not at 12. So we are here. What a wonderful panel, vibrant panel. And I think people are eventually going to give in their feedback on our hashtag Fair Talks, hashtag FairGaze on our Facebook page. Guys, we are still live on FairGaze Facebook page. And our wonderful panelists, Alokji, Bhavnaji, Kavitaji, you all have made the whole thing look doable, defining the new normal. So on behalf of FairGaze, thank you, all three of you, very, very much for all your time and all the information and the advice you've given us. In COVID times, stay safe, have your hand wash, social distancing even at home, and let's have the mask here and let's define the new normal. On behalf of FairGaze, thank you all very much. Happy Mother's Day and namaskar, Jai Hind. Take good care.
Same to you. Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful experience.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thanks, Bhavnaji.
Thank you.
So much. Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye.